Today, we're going to practice writing our own introductions for our research paper. After you watch this slideshow, you're going to try your own, and then we will work together to edit and make them as perfect as possible. So, first things first, what is an introduction? An introduction to a research paper is where you set up your topic and approach for the reader. There's several key goals. First, you're going to present your topic and get the reader interested. This is called a hook. Then you're going to provide some background information or summarize existing research. In our case, we're going to focus on background. Then position your own approach so the reader knows what to expect from you. Then you're going to detail your specific research problem. In our case, we don't necessarily have a problem so much as a thesis or the lasting impact of the person we're writing about. Then you're going to give an overview of the paper structure. This we're going to do later on, so don't worry too much about this one for now. The introduction is going to look slightly different depending on whether your paper is the results of your own research or by your own experimentation. So in this case, we're going to be presenting research found through a variety of sources, not our own experiments. So the first thing you need to do is introduce your topic. So the first job of an introduction is to tell the reader what your topic is and why it's important or interesting. This is generally accomplished with a strong opening hook. You've probably heard of hooks before. It's a striking opening sentence that clearly conveys the relevance of your topic. Think of an interesting fact, a statistic, a strong statement, a question, or a brief anecdote that will get the reader wondering about your topic, something that's going to catch their interest. For example, this is a hook that could be used on a paper writing about social media. The rise of social media has been accomplished by a sharp increase in the prevalence of body image issues among women and girls. It could be more specific than this, but something this general works as well. Don't feel that your hook necessarily has to be deeply impressive or creative. Clarity and relevance are still more important than catchiness. The key is to guide the reader into the topic and situate your ideas more so than to make sure that you have their undivided attention. So, some additional options for good hooks. You can ask an interesting question. We've got an example here. You can make a strong statement or declaration, offer a fact or a statistic, or make a simile or metaphor, comparing your topic to something else. Continuing on, you can tell a brief story. In this case, it wouldn't be appropriate to write a story about yourself. Instead, it would be more appropriate to write a brief story or anecdote about something that your person did that's impressive. A description hook, just describing something that happened. This is very similar to the story hook. Or to use a quotation. In this case, you would want to use a quotation from somebody either speaking about the person you're researching or someone from your group or person, quote from the person. Next thing you're going to do is describe the background. This is going to be short and sweet. So it depends on the type of paper you're writing. In this case, we're going to be calling this an argumentative paper. You're just going to give some general background. So after you've caught the reader's attention, you're going to specify a bit more, providing context and really just narrowing down your topic so they know what aspects you're going to be talking about. Provide only the most relevant background information. You don't need to give a lot of details. This is not the place to get in depth. If you want to provide more details later on, this would be more appropriate to do in your body. So, for example, if I was writing about Eva Peron, I would start with a hook using maybe a quote from her. And then I would continue on using this section as my background or my biography information. Eva Duarte Perón was the second wife of President Juan Perón of Argentina. Eva, also called Evita, helped Perón rise to power. She became a favorite of her country's citizens and influential, although unofficial member of Perón's government. Her own experience with the working class enabled her to act capably as her husband's political liaison with labor interests, women, and the poor. She became one of the most famous and influential women of her day. Take note, even though this sounds like a lot and it covers a lot of ground, this is still just the very basic facts. We're not answering any why questions here, just a little bit about the person and why the reader may have heard of them. Step 3 is going to be to specify your objectives. This is what we're going to be calling our thesis. So now you're going to get into the specifics of what you intend to find out or express in your research paper. So this is your thesis statement, and you specifically want to mention what the lasting impact this person or group had on the world was as your thesis. So if you'll notice, I've color-coded what we've got here. Yellow for our hook, blue for our background, and then light orange for our thesis. So our hook. Eva Peron once said, If I have to apply 5 turns to the screw each day for the happiness of Argentina, I will do it. This is kind of a controversial quote and sounds like it wouldn't be in favor of the poor, which she was known for helping. So it gets my attention because it contradicts what I already know about this famous person. Then we've got the background information in blue that we've already taken a look at, followed by a thesis. While alive, Eva Perón ran the Ministries of Labor and Health, founded and ran the charitable Eva Perón Foundation, championed women's suffrage in Argentina, and founded and ran the nation's first scale female political party, the Feminist Peronist Party. So we can see here that she had a number of impacts on the world, and while I do list them, I don't detail them. That will be saved for your last body paragraph. So after this, I want you to look back at the slideshow, take it step by step, and write your own hook, biography, and thesis. Once we're finished, we'll peer edit so that we can make our introductions as strong as possible.